you're describing has less ego in it. That seems to me like there's just not as much centering on the individual having power and
Well,
control.
yeah, I mean, it's a centering in compassion, like real compassion,
Mm.
right? Real compassion, real care for people, you know.
So
And
as
it's
far as
not,
yeah, go ahead. But as far as I've gotten with that, the evolution of that coupled with actually having real power and potency to implement in the world is a kind of really serious conundrum
yes,
because they don't seem to really ever get linked properly.
right. Well, I think there are steps that we can move through to really like create that foundation. I think one of the steps is actually, how do we teach people to be emotionally mature?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's that education happening? Right? Because for me, like in my work, I see a lot of the conflict and violence in the world stemming from our lack of capacity to hold our emotional reality,
Mm.
to hold emotional energy. Right? This is why meditation has been so important for me, because it gave me the tools to do that. But I see a lot of folks who are just really struggling with trauma and grief and sadness and despair, right? Who are deeply hurt and who are experiencing deep, intense rage and anger, who are also at the same time holding a lot of power to shape the lives of many people. You know, like how can we create, and as Dr. King said, this beloved community? How do you create a beloved community
Mm.
when we actually don't know how to care for ourselves?
Mm.
You know, and of course there's going to be hierarchies, right? You know, like the colonization of America meant the genocide, displacement and genocide of indigenous communities, native communities, and indigenous cultures have always been so deeply tied to the health of the earth, of the
Mm.
land, living in allyship and union with the natural world, right? And we're so far away from that right now. How do we possibly develop and create systems of care for ourselves when we can't even actually reconnect or connect to the earth and the natural world again? We're always, we paved over paradise.